Oh, am I starting it? Let Joe start it. Joe's got this like charisma, this natural.
You want me to
beat.
start it with my charisma?
If you could, Joe, can you bring this in charismatically?
Yes, I will. Hold on while I bring it in with charisma.
Please, thanks, man.
Hold on, let me check my phone really quick. Moo.com just sent me another coupon. I might have to get more business cards.
I can start now?
Please.
Hey guys, welcome to Table Talk. My name's Joe Beretta. This here's Steve Zaragoza, and I'm joined with Ross Everett. Everett or Everett? How do you like it being said?
Yeah, tell us.
Just as long as it's said, I'm happy.
You kids know how this works. You submit topics, these things, via the hashtag on the Table Talks or the r/SourceFed on the Reddits. And every once in a while, maybe you say something on Facebook. I don't know.
You're just addicted to the definite article today on the SourceFed, on the Reddit. The.
I went to the McDonald's later. I'm a time traveler. Sorry, my time travel ways.
Yeah.
I like your vest.
Thank you very much, Joe. I like your vest.
Yeah, well, it's like we're best friends. Best friends. Joe and Steve, we're best friends. Where the fuck is your vest, Ross? Where is your vest, Ross? We're gonna drink your blood on the altar of our best friends. I'm gonna tear the sleeve. I'm gonna tear the sleeve. Best friends. Joe and Steve, we're best friends.
What the fuck just happened?
Vance Wallace, at the Vance Wallace, said, what is the next thing you think Google will own? Hashtag Table Talk.
Ooh.
Us.
Well, they did
They
at one
did,
point, but they
and
don't
then we
anymore.
escaped.
No, I'm talking about us as a peoples.
Oh, the human race.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
we already got that Google Plus thing going on, like where it's like we have to use Google Plus now, and we have to use it to comment on YouTube videos and stuff. What's next?
I feel like some underwater mapping equipment.
That's actually probably pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like they're conquering the sky, they're conquering the land. Next is water, and then
Do
heart.
you think that Google and Apple will duke it out at some point? Like really duke it out?
I mean, they're constantly duking it out.
Right, but do you
every
think
day
it's gonna
anyway.
be? It's gonna come down to just.
Do you think
Google
they're
and
all
just
gonna like
Apple?
they're gonna each side is gonna elect a fighter to physically battle?
Yeah.
Like in Troy.
Yeah, and they're actually and they've been raising a boy named Google in the Google Corporation, and they've been training him. He's actually made from the DNA of all Google employees.
Oh,
But here's
awful.
the thing, no.
He has scoliosis.
He's
Type 2
nearsighted.
diabetes.
But boy, can he type.
Weak wrists. He's gonna see. Apple's gonna win because here's why. Because Apple takes everything so damn serious, right? They're gonna they'll take the combat seriously, and they'll elect their biggest guy, their strongest guy, the guy that'll win. Google's full of a bunch of hipsters, fun-loving guys work at Google, and they're gonna
We got a slide in
They're
our
gonna
building.
hire somebody as a joke. Let's get Jacob.
Oh, that's funny. And
Hold on.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
they're going to soup Jacob up with the most Google intelligent tech. It's like, oh, look at these. Like, are those Toms? They're Google Toms. And just
Wait, does that mean some kid, like a poor kid sitting on the other side
gets
of the world,
rocket
got
shoes.
cool rocket
Yeah.
shoes? That's right.
That's really good.
One for one.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's like it would be Google's next step is obviously going to be the thing that everybody thinks that they need or don't know that they need all the time. So
Yeah.
there was the maps, and then there was the this online social networks. What is that next?
You know
thing?
what? Google needs to just like drop the mic and be like, well, but first say something, then drop the mic. But they
That
want
guy that walks up on stage and is like,
and then everyone goes,
Oh my God! What?
yeah.
that's what Michael Bay should have done.
Oh my God!
I want them to just come out on a big press release, and I want like the whole world to be watching because it's like Google's making a big announcement, and I just want them to be like, we're making a universal battery.
Ooh.
And you
holy
buy
crap.
it once, and you never need another battery again.
Until they release 2.0 and
Yeah.
you have to buy it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're saying a functioning battery that just lasts forever.
That
without
lasts
ever-
forever. You never need to change
Oh,
it.
I thought you just meant like no double A's, no triple A's.
Well, yeah, that too. That
Yeah.
too. It would be a universal battery that would never die, and it would.
So they
work
just saved humanity for like the energy
Yeah,
crisis is what
yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah. But I'm thinking more about my iPhone because it dies a lot.
Oh, you mean like
Just
you wouldn't
about,
have
yeah.
to recharge it
Yeah.
whatsoever?
You would never have to recharge any battery ever again.
What are
Because
you
think
thinking,
about
like
like
solar
when
powered?
we were kids.
No, he's in imagination.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because when we were kids, you know, we'd play with our freaking remote control cars and shit, and the AA batteries would die, and we'd be like, we've been buying AA batteries, and now fast forward, you know, 20, 30 years later, and we still fucking buy AA batteries and fucking replace them every time a toy dies or something. Where is battery technology, and why hasn't it gotten better? I think Google needs to take battery technology.
That is true. Like, also, another thing that hasn't advanced is, like, refrigerator technology. Refrigerators are the exact same as they were in the 90s.
I'm gonna try to just look at you for as long as I possibly could.
I was just thinking.
Were you deep in thought?
No, I was like trying to actually determine if Steve was telling a fucking joke or if he was serious. I'm like,
I mean, like, it's...
No, I'm serious!
Joking or not, that's a solid point.
no, it's not. It's energy. Energy doesn't work like that.
No, but I mean, like, the idea that they haven't, like, everything is getting
It's
smaller.
not perpetual.
No, but they should be able to
It's
have a
impossible.
technology that has a longer burning battery.
Yes, exactly.
And they've done that.
No.
Wait. But you still have, like, why do they still have AA batteries? Why do they still have AAA batteries? is
Well,
what I'm
those
trying
are
to say.
size differences.
No, of course. But I mean, like, you have to keep buying them. You have to keep going back to the store and buying them. And even rechargeable batteries suck.
You're, like, legitimately upset by this.
Well, yeah, you put a rechargeable battery, you use the rechargeable battery until it dies, then you recharge it. But even the rechargeable batteries have a battery life, and they die too. And just like any battery in the world dies. I'm talking about, let's stop focusing on rechargeable, stupid batteries and make a battery that never needs to be recharged ever again.
I was on board until I actually heard what you had to say.
Until he went crazy,
Yeah.
right?
Dude,
I thought he
you
was
guys,
saying,
you guys
"Oh,
think
why
it's
don't we
crazy,
have-"
but when they come out with the battery, the universal battery that never needs to be
The battery
recharged
that
or
powers
replaced-
everything that never dies.
That
I
never-
can't.
I feel like you're thinking of religion.
Actually, we've already discovered it's the power of thought.
Ooh, look at
never
that.
dies.
Until you die and thought goes away.
Yeah, but then another guy is born, and that guy gets to think. And it's always like a big old cyclical motion.
There's going to be someone that isn't really, that's going to have listening, that's going to be like, well, that's kind of deep. And then they're going to go back and rewatch it and be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Also, please take a shot every time I open my mouth.
Of apple juice. Liam Granger says, you and the SourceFed team are in detention. Why are each of you there? Like a SourceFed breakfast club. Meg's Molly Ringwald. Hands down.
Yeah,
Red hair.
absolutely.
She would dance and probably put lipstick on from her tits. Mm-hmm. Boy, I feel like you are Judd Nelson.
I wish I was Judd Nelson, but I'm fucking Emilio.
Yeah, you're
Look at
Emilio-
me,
you
I'm
are.
like
Yeah.
Emilio
You're
Estevez.
totally Emilio Estevez.
And
Wrestled
you're
in
even wearing
high
a
school.
sleeveless thing.
But if you're
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez, Elliot's not Judd Nelson.
Elliot's the principal.
You mess with the
Bender.
bull, you get the horn.
Or the janitor.
Ross is the janitor.
Well, you can be the janitor's cool. Don't feel like
I
that's
haven't
a
seen
bad
this
thing.
in a long time.
That's
I
so
No,
don't
the
know
janitor's
about
great.
it.
He's got a shitty job, but
We
his
don't-
mind is like all there.
But I realized you guys were talking about a movie that most of our audience probably hasn't ever seen.
Are you
should
kidding
see
me?
it.
But
It's so good.
It's, I mean, John Hughes movies were what, late '80s,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I mean, our viewers are upwards of 3 years old sometimes.
I'm pretty sure we've done Breakfast Club on Movie Club, I believe.
Maybe.
I think we
so.
have.
It's
Maybe.
so good.
So what did you do to get put into
What did
detention?
I do? I'm trying to think of what Joe did in high school.
I feel like you stepped in on two kids fighting, and then they just put all three of you in detention.
No, I did something
Stupid, like, ran down the hall just screaming, like, racial things.
I thought
You
were
know,
gonna say, like,
typical kid
yeah.
stuff.
made like a slip and slide. Oh, maybe you took a cardboard box, you flattened it out, and tried to surf the stairs.
Maybe I would have done something like that. Like, I know we got in trouble
Well, he's
once
not Bart
for...
Simpson, dude.
We got in trouble once for, like, playing... We got a deck of cards, so during lunch we started playing strip poker in the hall. That was dumb. Got in trouble for
Did you
that.
have girls involved?
Nope.
All right, well,
Any excuse?
that story just
Throwing
sucks.
snowballs, like, just dumb stuff. I wasn't, like, a rebellious type. We
I
would
wasn't-
get in trouble for having fun. That's it. We glued,
Yeah.
we super glued one kid's locker that was just the most annoying human being ever. This wasn't like bullies picking on the nerd. This guy was just everybody's bane. And
Yeah.
he like tried to be, so we were like getting back at him and super glued his locker. It was one of the best things ever.
That's pretty cool.
Just sitting watching him just be like,
Then he just started crying.
no, he just like sat there for 20 minutes like,
couldn't figure out why the damn thing wouldn't
What if he
open.
just broke down and said like, my dad
I was
hates
thinking
me?
that.
It's like, oh shit, we unlocked that horrible memory.
My mom left us.
I got in trouble all the time for not being rebellious, but for being like a threat to the classroom society.
You were the loud
Like
kid.
I was loud and disruptive, and I would I would always take something that the teacher considered very serious and try to make it funny, and then no one could stay in the serious realm after that. So I would just ruin any
wish
teacher's
you had an
plans.
example.
Well, I think it would be something like I grew up in a Catholic family, so I went to a Catholic school for 8 years, and so it'd be like a nun trying to teach about like, I don't know, sex ed, or like maybe talk about, you know what?
Do you
okay,
mean not teach about sex ed?
here's a good example. Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Catholic sex education. If you do it, you go to hell.
Yeah, exactly, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
Book
Yeah.
closed.
Yeah.
Next, we're gonna go into religion.
All right, you guys, here's a candle. Put your hands in it. That's what it feels like.
Jesus never touched fire twice.
That
but
burning
that's
when you
because-
pee is the fire.
But well, I don't know. One example, I don't know if I can think of exactly an example of like turning the classroom on the teacher. I did it all the time, but I can't think of an example of getting detention when I was maybe in 5th grade. It was either 4th or 5th grade, and we all would gather in this place called the all-purpose room. I'll let you guess what we did there.
multi-purpose
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's very
We called it.
multi-purpose,
All
yeah.
right, so we gathered in there. It was like a rain day or something. It was raining outside, and so we were all gonna watch a movie. And it was like all of the students in the school, grades 1 through 8, I think. And the 8th grade kids were watching the younger kids, shit like that. And so I don't know, maybe it was like 300 students or something like that. And so we're about to watch the movie. Everyone's quiet. Keep in mind, it's a Catholic school. Nuns are the teachers there. Nuns are the principal. And there's a nun as the principal. And so we're about to watch the movie, and then the electricity goes out, and everything goes dark, and the kids just start screaming, ah! And then as soon as it quiets down, I yell at the top of my lungs,
Oh, no.
I saw Satan! And first of all, there was fear and laughter randomly, and the principal just grabbed me by the arm,
Wow.
ripped me out of the room, and I remember those burning eyes looking straight into mine going, you do not say that. You do not say that. And I was like, but I really saw Satan, I swear. I saw Satan.
Oh, no, you committed.
You did not say
Come
that.
on.
Maybe not. I don't know. But all I
Okay.
remember is I got detention for saying I saw Satan.
Oh, boy.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's good.
You guys ever play the penis game?
Penis,
penis.
penis.
If you yell penis.
You're in a public thing.
as
Never
loud as you
you've
can.
played the penis. You're Steve
Wait,
Zaragoza.
hold on. We shouldn't
Wow, I
introduce it to
swear.
him if he doesn't know, because we're just gonna hear
So
roundabout.
all you
bursts
do,
of
you'd be
penis.
you'd be sitting in a room with your friends, and you just go like this, and you get this mischievous look on your face, and you go,
and then I have to say it louder, and I go,
What? This is the greatest game ever! Oh my god, I fucking love this game!
Yeah.
it's amazing. So there.
What?
So-
We never... Penis.
No, wow, you jumped
You just
way.
wow,
Really?
man. You
Yeah.
took the
Okay,
game to a
hold
new
on, I'm
level.
just learning, guys.
Hold on, but it doesn't work when you're in a place like SourceFed.
All right, try it one more
That's
time,
written
Joe.
into
Try it one more
scripts.
time. Here we go. So you say it to Ross.
Penis.
What?
Penis.
Penis.
Don't do it.
Penis?
Oh, motherfucker. Okay. Penis.
Oh.
Shut up, dude. Shut up. Fuck up. Steve, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Step up, bro. Here we go. Step up.
Penis! It wasn't me! It wasn't me! I saw Satan!
So you got
I
it.
love this game! Can we play it?
I mean, yeah.
I can't believe you've never played
I
penis
swear to God,
before.
I've never played penis. CJ, do you play penis? Where is this game from? I grew up in Oxnard in California. Is it like
From the, well, let me tell the penis story.
Oh, that's right.
I had it.
That's right.
So, and we used to play it like, and the whole point is to do it where you're not supposed to yell penis. So we were in class.
I love it.
And we started it during like group activities, and everybody was like kind of being loud, so we were able to get to like a pretty decent volume because it was just like kind of going on, like like a.
But this is a great team building game. This is everyone working together,
No.
and it's a collective thing. Like the teacher should have just embraced it.
Man, could you imagine,
Embrace the
could you
penis?
imagine the one teacher that was just like, penis?
And ended it forever.
Just yelled and then got fired immediately.
We never played the game again.
Oh, God.
She
That'd be
won.
the greatest story ever.
You
would
can't-
love
That'd be the
that teacher
best.
rest
Oh
of
yeah, you would work
No more
hard in
tangents.
class.
Ross's story.
All right,
Okay,
Right.
so we're playing the game. It's getting pretty loud. You go, like you're coughing, you're doing stuff. It's working. So he gets one real good one in right before. They're like, okay, like settle down. Like we're gonna break up into the groups. I'm like, shit. So he's got this smug look on his face. Like he fucking knows. Like he just fucking won. I'm like, shit. So I always lean back in my chair in class. I'm like this guy, and then I've fallen over a few times. Like just like I just did right there. But so I put my feet up on my desk. And I look him right in the eye, and I kick the desk over, and right as it hits the ground, I yell, "Penis!" But it masks it because
so
everybody, so everybody.
Wait, so you thought of creative ways to hide it?
Well, yeah, that was the whole point.
really
Is you gotta
good.
get away with it. So it goes slam, and I yell "penis" right as it hits the ground. I go, "Oh my god!" And like the teacher's like, "Are you okay?" Like everything. And the look on my friend's face was just one of like he couldn't believe what just happened.
Yeah, 'cause he's got a one-up.
I bested him. I mean, he couldn't. The game was over after that. I won. But then after class, like we were telling people what happened, and people in the classroom next to us were like, "Oh my god!" Like we could have sworn we heard someone yell the word "penis."
Wait, was this a classroom wide?
So no, well, it was just between me and my friend during the
But I
the
mean,
thing.
like, could it potentially like be a classroom wide
It's
thing?
hard to
like,
know
if you
who
could
goes
hear it
when.
down the hall, though, like, would you be like, "Holy
Oh,
shit"?
I have to yell
You'd be
no.
pretty. You're not going to get to that level. At that point, the penis game has been squashed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes
It is
sense.
flaccid.
Because it's all
It is
okay.
a flat
I get it. I'm learning the interest in.
I mean, you can take this game and do
The
anything you
rules.
want
Yeah.
with it. There's no rules to the
It's
penis
just
game.
yelling the word "penis."
Yeah, that's it.
So wait, but how'd you get detention?
I didn't. I got away with it. I just
Oh,
wanna tell
okay,
that
good
story.
detention story.
That's how we would get into detention.
Yeah.
Wait, I'd like to think that like when this penis game was going on, in the height of the penis game, I'd like to think that there was like a bulletin sent out to teachers that just said like, "There's this penis game. You guys
hear the
need to
word
be
penis.
aware of it, and just know that they're gonna try to. It's gonna try to be a thing." I'd say let it happen, or like because you got to think about these conversations teachers would have with parents and stuff.
Oh, I gotta know what goes on in that
The teachers' lounge?
Yeah,
They're
they've
just
gotta,
like
there's got to be
fucking.
psychological
Maybe they knew. Like
discussions.
fucking Ross and David were.
I
want
want to know how often the word hate just gets dropped.
That
in
they
teachers'
hate
lounge.
it.
God, I hate my.
I mean, but
student.
yeah, there's got to be one. Like, I
yeah.
know I was the bane of a lot of teachers' existence, and in fact, I know in the beginning, since we all would we were in the same school. Whenever we'd go to another grade, me and my friend Jeff were the main offenders.
They would make sure you're separated?
Well, like the fun thing about the first day of school is you get to pick where you sit, and then you sit there for the rest of the year. And so of course Jeff and I would sit right next to each other. And the second the teacher came in, never met her before, she'd be like, "Steve and Jeff, if you're sitting next to each other, you need to move right now." I was like, damn it, almost got away with it. But it's like, the teachers have a student they fucking hate, and they talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. We all have
Because here's the
someone
thing,
we
You
talk
were
about.
that Zaragoza
I
kid.
feel so bad.
This is what people like students don't realize, and I did finally realize it. I think it's always after you leave high school is that these teachers are human beings.
Yeah.
They're all effed up. They all have problems.
Yeah.
They all have their stressful things, their joys and whatnot. And outside of school, they're just being normal, everyday people, trying to avoid you so you don't see them doing normal.
Have you ever
everyday
run into a
things.
teacher outside of school? It's so weird. It's like you exist.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you wouldn't think that.
But they're like they're having extramarital
It's
affairs.
true.
There's like office
or like
romance
or
stuff.
tension
It's
at
all-
home. Yeah. Family problems. I know, but the thing you got to remember too is like we had teachers that were our favorite teachers and they're not so favorite teachers, and then the ones we just flat out hated. But usually the ones you flat out hated were the ones that were like they just didn't get that like in order to like control a classroom full of people that are pretty unruly. And by the way, as I went into older grades, like 7th or 8th grade, I really wasn't the main offender anymore.
I love that those are older grades.
Well, I'm thinking about in the elementary school, like primary school.
Yeah.
years.
Ooh.
Oh, someone about a surprise.
Hook shot.
But like as I got older and moved up in classes, like I really wasn't the main offender anymore. In fact, there was stuff like gang activity and student. Like when I was in 7th grade, one of the girls in our class got pregnant from an 8th grader. Yeah, it was crazy. People were like doing sexual things in the church and getting caught doing it.
Wow.
So it's like I was like a saint in there just making fart jokes. In the back of the room.
Saint Zaragoza of Oxnard.
Yeah, exactly. In fact,
Patron saint of fart noises.
dude, I would have been all about that saint.
Patron saint of the penis game.
Dude, is
And
that a
together
thing?
we say peanut.
Where's that church? I want to belong to it. Where is it?
That's the fun thing about churches. You can make them
Just
any
make
way you want.
There goes the church.
Book of
Arnold.
But there was a teacher we had that was allergic to fragrance, and fragrance
no.
is in everything, like deodorant, gel. It's literally something all the pharmaceutical companies or at least the hair care product makeup companies throw into all their shit because it makes it smell kind
The
of
smelly
nice.
goods.
Exactly. So we had a teacher allergic to it, and she was kind of a mean person. And so what she would do is if she smelled, she would go around and smell everyone's head and smell it. And if she smelled fragrance, you had to go to the office and wash your hair.
Really?
And wash it out. Yeah, it was crazy.
She would put herself in danger.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
she had a little fetish.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, but
She
here's
would
what
take
happened.
every student, she would smell their hair and nibble on their earlobe. And if she smelled or tasted fragrance,
Yeah, exactly.
she would send you to her office.
Then
where she
she'd
would
take our
spank you.
shirts off. All right. But there were 3 girls in the class that were like the bad girls. And they decided one morning they were going to fill her Gatorade water bottle
no.
that she drinks out of
They
every
killed
day
her.
with perfume and cologne and like all this shit. And also, you know those little mechanical pencil refills? They threw that shit in there so like you could suck it through the straw. And they put like staples and all sorts of shit in there. Basically attempted murder. Not a joke.
Did she
Was
sip
this
it?
initiation for their gang? What
Yeah.
is-
I don't. It could have been. Honestly, I don't know. It was beyond me. I was just the kind of nerdy
Did you watch
kid.
a lady die?
No. Well, I mean, everyone in the class was like told to not say a fucking word, or we were gonna get beaten up or
Holy
something.
shit.
So we're all just kind of sitting there, knowing this is gonna happen. The teacher comes in, and the girls are like snickering, like evil little devils in there, and we're just kind of sitting back, going like, "We gotta warn her. We gotta like somehow tell her that this is not good." But we were gonna get, when you're a kid,
Yeah.
the priorities aren't
The,
right.
the authority's a little different.
The authority's
kinda
different.
dumb.
You're very dumb. And so she takes the sip out of it, and she starts going, and she just starts writing on the board. And then
No.
she sips it one more time, and she's like, and she starts having this like
No,
insane,
no.
like
Oh my
coughing
God.
fit, and she kind of stumbles out of the classroom, and then we just hear this hacking, coughing down the hallway. Then we hear people rushing out of their classrooms, an ambulance comes, all this shit happens. The principal comes in with the reddest, most angry face in the world, and she's like, if I don't hear the truth about who did this in like 3 minutes, you come to my office right now, then this whole class is in big, big trouble. We've got the police here. We've got an ambulance here.
Is this the story of when Steve Zaragoza turned
Yeah.
on his classmates?
I'm hoping.
What's those bitches?
I'm so
And then I took off like the Tasmanian devil.
Oh my god.
But no, they check this out. So this was like, I don't
Hold
know.
on, real quick. This entire time that you're hearing this, are you picturing him with the beard still?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Sitting in the back, like not fitting in a child's desk. Like
like the child version of the Grinch.
Yes. Oh my god. Okay, so
But
what
anyway,
happened?
actually, I had big, thick, like Newman glasses with like the super magnified, whatever. So, get this shit. This was like 1993, 1991, maybe. The girls got suspended.
That's it?
I'm so fucking laughing.
Fake fart sound.
Best thing that's ever been said.
You would have gotten away with it.
I think I would have.
Yeah,
I would have been
okay,
like,
so
Steve
go.
made the best fart sound ever. After he ratted on those new murderers.
Girls got suspended.
They got suspended, not expelled.
Wow.
Suspended. Didn't do like no juvenile hall type.
Was the teacher okay?
The teacher was fine. She went to the hospital, and they kind of like I forgot what they did.
Pumped
but
her stomach?
I don't know. I don't think you have to pump your stomach if you drink cologne or whatever because it's animal tested. But because she
Not drinking it.
well, they test it all sorts of ways. They have to. I mean,
Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
if a kid drinks cologne in your house, you don't. They're not gonna. You might want to induce vomiting or whatever. I don't think it's gonna kill them. But she had that like allergy to fragrance, so it like gave her like it almost closed her throat up completely.
Oh
So they had
my
to give her
God.
like EpiPen or
Oh,
whatever and all
wow.
that shit. But she was fine. But I mean.
Did they move the girls out of that class?
No,
when they came back?
they just got expelled or they just got suspended. They were gone for like maybe a couple of days or something. They came back. And then it was like one of those awkward things where like they went over to the teacher and they apologized to her like in front of the whole class. And then they gave her like cards or something. And like it was just this awkward, weird. I don't know if it was because of like the Catholicism thing that it's all about the like turn the other cheek, forgive and forget. And it was like a big lesson in like I forgive you or something. But like before we knew it, things were back to normal.
Because I learned you can get away with fucking murder at this.
Well, I
school.
mean, it was before. I mean, they don't let kids do shit in school now. I mean, and
Yeah.
rightfully so.
Was it before Columbine?
Yeah, it was before Columbine.
There you go.
Well before Columbine. So it was.
She should have paddled their asses in front of everybody. Hey, you guys, thanks for watching Table Talk.
one of the most upbeat episodes ever.
Great. That was
Penis.
great. Participate in the future with the Twitters and the Reddits. And yeah, that is it, you guys.
Yeah.
That was fun. It was a long one.
Crazy.
We apologize.
Yeah, it was really good.
It
This
felt
one.
like it went through quick. I was about to grab another question.
I know. I didn't even
Yeah.
grab a question.
Yeah.
This one felt more like a podcast than
Yeah,
a table talk.
absolutely.
It was really long. I'm Joe
boy.
Beretta.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Ross Everett.
We're best friends. Best friends. Joe and Steve, we're best friends. Time to kill this motherfucker without penis. Fucking bullet.